Hello, this is the Provoked Prawn, and this is the Gigabyte Aorus 15G, a chunky but really powerful and interesting gaming laptop from the gaming arm of Gigabyte. This is the gaming arm that's aimed at enthusiasts and esports gamers and gamers that take their gaming seriously, and this is an interesting laptop that, as you can see, is not only nice to look at, but also features a number of really cool design facets to it that include a 240Hz screen option, as well as some very thin bezels that you can see here. It's also Pantone validated and color calibrated. It has a 4 millisecond response time. It also has some other nifty features to it that include an OMRON mechanical gaming keyboard setup, similar to traditional mechanical keyboards, but with a thin switch design. And you can see that in all its glory here, and it's a very nice, unusual, comfortable, and perhaps quite tactile, clicky keyboard that stands out from the usual gaming laptops. It also has a fingerprint reader built into the trackpad for Windows Hello, so you've got a nice easy bit of access into Windows, and that's another nice feature. It also comes with Microsoft Azure AI technology, which is basically means that it can learn how you're using it and uses cloud artificial intelligence to then adjust the performance of your CPU and GPU to give you the best gaming performance and minimize interference from other things. It also has killer networking, Ethernet and Wi-Fi, which will optimize your networking capabilities to give you the best performance in that area as well. So it's designed to really focus on gaming for the maximum amount of gaming goodness. And obviously that's the reason to include this OMRON mechanical keyboard with a really nice switches on it that'll give you a satisfying feedback and a bit of accuracy. It's also really nice to look at, nice to type on, quite comfortable in that way. I will say it is quite a chunky laptop, as you can see from the footage here. It does sit quite high on the desk and on the lap as well. It's not necessarily lightweight, and because it's quite chunky, it's a bit uncomfortable in some positions, so you're going to need to get that set up just right to get it comfortable for typing on and everyday use. I found it was nagging at the edge of my wrists depending on where I'm sitting on. However, it does shine in a lot of other areas. It has a really nice look and feel to it. It's CNC milled, nice good quality chassis to it. Also, as you can see here, numerous different ports, including HDMI out and DisplayPort Mini. You've got a USB connection on the left hand side, audio jack, Ethernet connection, so you can get wired broadband connection, much more stable than Wi-Fi. As I said, that's killer networking, Ethernet, as well as Wi-Fi, although I found the killer Wi-Fi to be a bit flaky, but I think that was a software issue more than a hardware problem. On the right hand side, you can see 2 more USB ports, as well as USB-C and an SD card reader and the power slot. Talking about power, this is a long-lasting laptop. The battery life on this will get you around 8 hours. I found I could get through most of the day using it for work and other things like that, and I wasn't adjusting keyboard brightness and screen brightness down to minimum either, so I really found that it did really well in terms of battery life. Obviously, you do need to plug in for gaming sessions. It is a bit of a beast. This laptop that I'm testing comes with the latest 10th gen Intel Core i7-10875H CPU, 16 gigabytes of RAM, and an Nvidia RTX 2070. There are various different RTX GPU options available, and you can also get a 1660 Ti if you want to save a bit of money, so there's plenty of different options, and I'll include all the specifications and everything in the description so you can find out more information on that. But as you can see, it has this really nice styling to it. It's got this wind force cooling setup that includes 2 fans and I think 5 heat pipes inside that I'll show you in a minute, and that's interesting. I'll quickly talk about the webcam. There's a webcam hidden here at the bottom of the screen, which is terrible design in my opinion. You can see it's hidden behind a privacy shield that I'll show you a bit close up in a minute, but the problem is when you're on a call or meetings, or if you're using it for anything where people want to see you, you end up seeing your fingers on the keyboard instead, which is just daft. The privacy shield is a nice touch, but it's a shame that they put this down here because it's basically really poor unless you're just sitting there looking at the screen, because as you can see, your fingers are just in the way. I understand why they've done it. Obviously, keeping the screen bezels to a minimum is an important part of this design, and webcam is obviously a small thought. However, the overall design is really nice, as you can see, really nice design to it. got a nice bit of bend and tilt in the laptop screen. Also is a number of really nice simple design facets to it here, like the raised bits here that will keep the fans off the desk and in theory keep the cooling nice. Unfortunately, it does get very hot on the lap when gaming. I found that out quite quickly. I didn't find the keyboard itself got too hot, but the underside got really hot when I was playing on it, unbearably so. So I definitely recommend playing it on a desk. Taking it apart, as you can see underneath, some points of interest again. You've got access to basically everything. You can see the fans, so you can give them a nice bit of a blowout of dust quite easily when you need to. You can also do other things. You'll note, for example, the RAM is accessible, the battery is accessible. This also has two NVMe M2 SSD slots, one of which is spare on this version. I suppose it depends which spec version you buy, but you could install another large NVMe drive in here, so you could go for like 2 terabyte drive if you've got the money, and give you some extra space. You'll also see that the RAM is accessible, as I said here, so you could theoretically upgrade that with ease. As I said, this one comes with 16 gigabytes. I think you can upgrade to a 64 if you wished. And the standard OS NVMe drive is also accessible and upgradable potentially as well. And as you can see the battery pack too. So there's lots of options there for potentially upgrading this in future if you purchase it. And it's really easy access as well. It only takes a few screws to take off the back and then you're away. Now, gaming wise, I found this machine was quite a joy to play around with. I did say it got hot on the lap. You can see here I am in my lounge playing Star Wars, and I found that the screen was doing well. It was getting around 80 FPS. I'll include some benchmarks and description notes on that. It was getting around 80 FPS. Now this is a 240 Hz screen. There's a 144 Hz panel available as well. This game only ran at 144 Hz for some reason, not sure why. Other ones were capable of pushing to 240, that's fine. But the visuals, as you can see, I captured this from screen from multiple angles, you'll see more footage in a minute, but it looks really nice. It's often hard to do screens justice, but this one is really good quality. Very nice colours, really rich design, very responsive. I didn't notice any problems with bleed or ghosting or anything like that. It's a very good screen. Very good quality design overall. Really enjoy it. One thing that I will note is that you can control the fan speed from the keyboard. Function key and escape key basically switches between two modes, which is fast and slow. You can adjust those within the software a bit more and go between other various levels. However, I will note that the fans do change. You can obviously set it to automatic and it will change to adjust to give you the best possible performance. But what I quickly found was that the fans were too loud for the most part when gaming, and they overpower the speakers. The speakers were okay, but if you are playing games, the fans kick into a volume where it just overpowers the audio, and I found after quite a short period that it was quite obnoxious. So what I've done here is I'm actually playing with a headset on. Luckily, because you have so many USB ports on both sides, it's pretty easy to plug in a headset. I'm plugged in the Astro 50 to it without any issues, and I'm just using that for gaming. And then obviously I'm blocking out the noise of the fans, and it's no longer a bother. If you're playing on the desk, it doesn't get as hot either, and performance was really good. I found it was getting some really decent performance out of Borderlands 3, which benchmarked at 128 FPS. I think I averaged a little bit lower than that when I was actually playing it, but it was performing really well. As I said, it got around 80 FPS out of Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, and then other games, lesser games like Worms WMD for example, managed 240. Obviously if you're playing serious gaming on like CSGO or something like that, you can make the most of that 240 Hz display. Now, just to give you an idea of the levels of the fan noise, I've got a little decibel meter here, sound level meter, to show you what it's like. This is obviously just with the fans on. I've not actually played the games just yet, but this gives you a rough idea, and it gets into the high 60s and low 70s depending on where you position it. Obviously you're not going to jam your ears right against where the fans are, but it is very loud and quite obnoxious, I'll be honest. A bit overpowering. Obviously you can turn them down, but I found when it was automatically compensating to adjust the levels to give you the better performance, it was just too loud. I don't think this is a major issue. You do find a lot of these laptops, especially with the high-end specs, high specifications, high performance laptops, they do end up having a lot of volume on the fan noise. Just put a headset on and forget about it, it's not a problem. You can see that the command center software allows you to do various things. Unfortunately, I haven't got any footage in depth of that, but you can see if you look at the keyboard now, for example, that it's per key illumination. You can also get an idea of what pressure your things are under in terms of GPU, CPU load, adjust fan speed in there, tweak all the settings nicely, and you obviously have that Microsoft Azure AI technology running as well to keep it at the best possible quality. In the end, this is a pretty expensive but very interesting, capable and enjoyable laptop to use. I wish it wasn't quite as chunky and a bit more comfortable to play with, and that webcam wasn't in that position. However, you can obviously buy an extra webcam to sort that out. Otherwise, generally, this thing has been a joy to use, and I would certainly recommend checking it out. Hope you found this video useful. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions. Thanks for watching. This has been the Provoked Prawn. Hope you found this video useful, interesting or hilarious. Be sure to subscribe and check out these other videos, as well as taking a look in the description for links and information you might find useful. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions or anything you'd like to see extra about this, and have a great life.